We're back for our third visit here at Magic Mountain. Second in 2 years, luckily enough. But on my last visit, if you saw the vlog, it was really a tight journey with a limited ride offering. And here I am again in an off-season portion of the year, being Christmas time. It's actually December 28th, so pretty close to the new year, right in between. It's a Saturday, and I think the park's gonna be pretty busy today. I have a couple of priorities, which includes the rides that I didn't get on last time, including Wonder Woman, Full Throttle, also the Wood Coaster, the racing coaster from Premier Rides. But we're hoping to get all the credits that we didn't get last time here. So let's go inside. Magic Mountain 2024 for the final time. Okay, 1 minute early for entry. All the gates are just opening up. So we gotta beat the crowd. They're gonna all start running this way. Let's get to X. Might be a bit of a wonky day here at Magic Mountain, so we'll see how it turns out. I'm actually now headed to the back of the park because everybody's all in the front, and none of the queues really have opened up yet. Welcome to an empty Magic Mountain. It's not gonna last. Apocalypse is unfortunately closed. Here we go. Never been in this station before. Just past 11 o'clock, and we're banging them out here. Great decision. Hello to the gent who I saw at the beginning at X2, and we actually did 2 rides on West Coast Racers together in the front. And close to the back, they do allow re-rides, which is amazing, considering that the park is not quite busy yet. It's open till 10 p.m., so I think gradually over time it's going to get busy. There's lights and Christmas stuff to see later on, so generally I think that that's probably when it's going to get busier. But I've got 2 rides on Riddler's Revenge, front and back, including a front seat ride, a Zen ride. That was fantastic. As many of you Six Flags and Cedar Fair, former Cedar Fair fans may know, you got to get on this ride because I feel like its days are going to be numbered as well. But that is a fantastic old B&M stand-up coaster. I think it's actually my favorite ever. It's fantastic. Just love that loop. It's really just overpowering when you go through it. It's really very effective. Not too much headbanging on that ride in the front. In the back, I got a fairly good rattle, but I was managed to get through unscathed. Solid ride. West Coast Racers was also a lot better than I thought. I had heard not so great things about the ride, but to be honest with you, I thought it was pretty good. 2 rides on that, front and back as well. And yeah, a solid little ride. I think that's a good precursor to what sort of Alpine Fury is going to feel like when it finally debuts at my home park. But I still have Full Throttle to ride later on too, so we'll give a comparison to that. But very snappy ride, great interactivity. I love the way that the tracks just like weave together like spaghetti. You really have to be on West Coast Racers to understand how that interactivity is really effective when you're on the ride. Yeah, it's kind of like a family version of Twisted Colossus, if you will. So yeah, definitely a great addition to this park. And after 2 rides, I think I'd want to go on it again. 15 minutes, which surprised me, but they had a little bit of a delay before getting on. I'm getting spoiled with front seat rides here today, because that was a walk-on front seat ride, no extra weight. Just happened to work out in the timing of it, which is fantastic. 16 years since I was on this ride last. It was definitely much smoother back then. Still a great ride. I really enjoyed it the first time I rode it, and it was pretty decent. A little bit of a rattle, could do with a repaint, but now having been on many more floorless coasters since, yeah, it's pretty much just a standard floorless. Still enjoyed it, not too much rattle. Definitely recommend a ride. I'm sure the back would be more forceful than the front, but it had some great views, and it definitely felt like my feet were actually going to touch the track on certain portions, especially that corkscrew. Like, yeah, I don't know. If you dangle your feet right, it was pretty close if you have a little bit of height to you. But that screen done. Also, of course, managed to get Twisted Colossus done while I was down here. And yeah, I was in the middle of the train. I originally selected the back, but somebody was nice enough to say, hey, do you want to go on this train now? I was like, I'll probably be riding it again before I leave. So we'll save that ride for later. Good ride. This is my post-Zadra review, however, and nothing really can touch that RMC as far as I'm concerned. So while it's a great ride, it definitely has a lot of surprises. If it was running with dueling trades, which unfortunately is only running 3 trades today, so that means it's not actually doing that, it would definitely put it a step above. But as far as the elements are concerned and the forces, excellent, just a little tamer than what I'm used to compared to, say, on my recent ride on Zadra. So yeah, great ride. Definitely set the precedent for what the RMC effect was going to be. It's odd now that we haven't really seen that many new RMCs. That's for the golden age only a couple of years ago. So yeah, this is one of the original daddies. Great ride. Definitely love the length that you get with the 2 circuits around. But yeah, definitely not one of my favorite RMCs.
You did not save me like I thought he would. You like feel it or do you hear it?
A final ride, more than likely on Ninja, close to the back. With the way that Six Flags is really eradicating a lot of their parks and their bigger rides, that's not going to be a good thing here because we have another ride right in front of me that hasn't really run all of 2024 and more than likely will be leaving here too, including the drop tower attached to it. And what else could that be but Superman Escape from Krypton? I'm really dying to get on this ride at least one more time, as I have been on it, but that was in my first visit 16 years ago now. So long it's barely memorable, but I do remember it. Now, Full Throttle, another ride that I haven't been on here at Magic Mountain. We will be riding later, as I fortunately have a couple of fast passes for that ride. And Tatsu, so I'm gonna go on Tatsu now. whole area really is going to be completely reimagined, because you can see like the Dragon Laughing Pizza Co. and other places that just have not been kept well over the years. So it's more than likely that they're not going to be here, and there's going to be a wholesale like sort of revamping of this section of the park, or one could so hope, because it certainly needs it. I certainly don't want Ninja to leave, because it's a fantastic ride. In fact, that was probably one of the best, if not best, rides I've had on it. Really fast, unpredictable, relatively smooth, a little bit janky, but what can you expect from an Aero of the age that it is? There's only 3 left now in North America, and long may they be around for much longer, because I love suspended Aero coasters. The one at Kings Island is rumored to be removed either this coming season or next, so I'm definitely going to have to get down to that park to get on that one too. I should also mention the most unique thing about that Ninja ride was the fact that Jetstream is running, and it has a ridiculous weight right now, otherwise I would totally go on it. But the lift hill that goes underneath, or the when Ninja goes underneath its lift hill, there's a lot of water that's coming down, and we just got completely obliterated and splashed in the face. It was a beautiful ride. What is one of the most classic rides ever to run here at Magic Mountain. But let's not waste another moment. It's time to do Tatsu before we leave Samurai Hill. After 16 years of waiting, we finally got back on Tatsu. It's been so long since I've ridden this ride, and I really wanted to, give a good... Hey guys. They really actually said something funny on the train earlier too, because what I wanted to say about at the end of the ride, and you're hanging there in that launch, or the holding brake there, the conduct of some of the people at this park, it's not really refreshing to see at the end of your ride a big sort of like pool of spit on the floor as you're waiting to be pulled back into the station. But I call it the way it is on this channel, and that's just the way it is. Animals. And the people in the train with me were like, this is disgusting. So yeah, I really haven't seen that in any other flying coaster. I love LA. So yeah, Tatsu, unbelievable ride. They're still doing Tatsu, which, to be honest with you, amazing crew. Definitely, I remember even the last time I was here, they were a solid crew, and nothing has changed over a decade and a half later. Really solid, getting the trains out really fast. No lethargy like you find pretty much in the rest of this park. Yeah, solid props to the crew. You are absolved of any criticism that I may say otherwise. But outside of the ride, amazing. I've been on the Flying Dinosaur since, so unfortunately that does take the cake as the best flying coaster in my book. But this pretzel loop, oh my God, it is really just one of those hallmark elements, and you really have to get to the park just to ride that alone. It's not as intense as Flying Dinosaur, which is more intense overall. Even its pretzel loop is just a little bit more intense, I find. But this was amazing. I love it. It's not for everyone, but I certainly loved it. Overall, though, an amazing ride. Just really kind of scenic, really. Tatsu's kind of like just enjoying the sensation of flying, which this being an earlier, or the original mega flying coaster, that's understandable, but loved it. All repainted. We'll definitely hopefully be here on another ride sooner than 16 years, so I hope. have left Full Throttle finally earlier than anticipated, so I got to give props to that crew as well, as they definitely got the train out as quickly as they could. And now the park is completely lit up behind me and in front of me and all over the place. But we're not going to be here too long for the event at night, unfortunately, because we do have a long drive towards Monterey tonight. Okay, any guess where we're headed? Luckily, Viper has reopened. Annex 2. Not liking my chances on the ladder, but we're here anyway to see what's up. For our day today, I finished it off with a ride on Viper as it reopened. I've never had a night ride on it before. It was absolutely sensational and fantastic. That was ridiculously good and the best ride I've ever had on that ride ever. It wasn't just the fact that it was at night, but the actual speed that the train was taking through all the elements. It was like really like white knuckle. It's fantastic. I don't think I should be doing this with this music in the background, so I'm gonna go to the front gate and wrap up with a very important overall impression of this park. As it has not been great, but it's almost been uniform with the people that have been here today. Not many people seem to have had a great day here at Magic Mountain. If this is the flagship park for Six Flags moving forward, then I really fear for the future of parks in North America, because Six Flags has now monopolized operations throughout North America. Cedar Fair obviously have say in what's going on in the operations because they're a merged company, but they both seem to have the same attitude towards customer relations, or at least expectations, in the modern day. Having just been to Germany, I know I keep repeating it, and I haven't even finished putting up all the vlogs from my recent trip, but it is such a superior experience for so much less money. You really do feel like you're coming to a place that just wants to sell you stuff and not give you anything in return. Numerous rides, major e-ticket attractions on only one train. I'm now 3 visits in, and I've not been on 7 of the coasters here. So take it for what it is, but I don't know. I don't feel satisfied. If you came from afar and you wanted to get everything in at what is apparently the thrill capital of the world, it is Saturday, so it would have been busier, but the general consensus with the crowd here has been, yeah, they're very frustrated. The lines have been too long. Yeah, it's not been a great experience whatsoever. There was a couple of good rides. I didn't really cover Full Throttle. I enjoyed that ride, but it as well had many issues today, including only one train operation. So, yeah, I gotta say it for what it is. I gotta call it for what it is. Really frustrating day. Not many thrills to be had. And also, the park is not really well maintained either. As I tried to capture in some of the visuals that I captured today, yeah, there's a lot of stuff that's run down. There's a lot of rides that need repainting and some TLC. I mentioned the conduct of people like on Tatsu and stuff like that. So you're overall just not getting a great experience. That all said, the crowds were relatively well behaved, so I have no complaint about that whatsoever. The staff were very friendly. They were doing the best that they could. But it's really from the top that there seems to be a problem at this park, and I really hope that they figure it out by the time that I come back. Okay, well, that is it for a wrap today. Thanks for dropping in. That's a bad intro.